Hi, am I speaking to Scott Gorham?
You are.
Hi, Scott. This is Maggie at Full Metal Rock.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great, thank you.
Where are you
Appreciate
calling? Where are you calling from?
that. I live near Nottingham, so like in the middle of the country.
Now, a true English person would say Nottingham,
Yes, I know.
not
And
Nottingham.
yes, I know. I'm trying to resist the becoming full-fledged English.
Well, I know. I've been over here so long that when I
I
hear
know.
Americans go Birmingham,
Yes,
because
that was
that's
funny.
what we do. Birmingham, Alabama.
And Edinburgh. That's another one that makes me
Yeah.
laugh. Or Glasgow.
Oh, that's a bad one. That is really, really a bad one. That's when you become ashamed of being American at that point. I'm not with that guy.
I sort of like tried to correct my friend very quickly and say, don't say it like that.
Yeah, please. When I leave the room, go ahead, say it any way you want to. So, which part of the America are you from?
I'm originally from Puerto Rico in the Caribbean, so I'm a long way
kidding.
from home. Yeah, my mom was Puerto Rican and my dad was from Georgia. And
wow, I just saw a travel log thingy on Puerto Rico, and it looked absolutely beautiful. The only problem, they were trying to sell houses. The only problem is you're out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it
a lot
is
of
a
these
beautiful
places,
island. It's only tiny. It's like 100 miles long and about 50 miles wide. So you could literally ride the whole circumference of the island in a day. So to speak, if it weren't windy roads and and mountains and all that. But
is
it's
it really
a beautiful place.
like a real tropical kind of weather system?
They are suffering so bad economically.
Oh, well, yeah.
It
that's
doesn't
been going on for quite a while, though, hasn't it?
It has, but it's like gotten really bad because people are like leaving the island in droves.
You know
for
why
jobs
economically that's been happening?
It's a combination of things. I mean, historically, it's quite a poor island. It's more lower class than even working class.
Right.
But the Americans loved to come build big hotels and casinos and everything on the island. And it's not as bad as like the situation in Cuba where
I was
people
just going to say that. The Cuban thing all over again.
They have it far, far worse there. So I don't want it to be like, at least we were under U.S. government, but not communist government.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Don't you think that as in the Cuban thing, that the casinos actually employed, huge amounts of people?
Yeah,
when Castro came in, everybody was sort of almost instantly thrown into poverty.
Yeah, because the employees could work in the casinos and the hotels, and this is still the case for many of them, but they aren't allowed to go to eat dinner or to stay in the hotel or anything like that. So it's very, they really cut the classes off.
It's real separatist
to separate.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, very, very much so. So I was a bit, when they lifted the sanctions, I was kind of a bit like, I'm not sure this is the right thing because we're almost like saying it's okay.
Sure, I understand that. America is great at that, aren't we?
It is, and things are really. I mean, I left Puerto Rico when I was probably about 11. My dad, as soon as he retired, he had his plans. He wanted to get us off the island and back to the mainland U.S. for education purposes and future jobs and all that sort of thing. So, I still go back every now and then.
Right.
And it's sort of like a bit of a time warp, because you go back and like nothing's changed.
Wow.
In the big cities, which there aren't many, then you see new developments, new shopping malls and that sort of thing for the tourists. But you get out of the tourist area and it's like nothing.
Nothing. It's I'm totally the opposite. I come from a place called Glendale, California, right? And I grew up there pretty much most of my life. And when I left, when I was 21 years old, and I left to come to England, there was so much open space in Glendale, right? You know, it was like a little compact, little community kind of thing. But when I came back, you know, maybe 10 years later, everything had changed.
Yeah.
You know, every lot was built on, apartment blocks everywhere. And the strangest thing is Glendale now is 72% Armenian.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know where that came from.
It's
But
probably
I'll tell you a coincidental little story. I went to school with a guy named Dennis Larian. He was a really good friend of mine, right? And he was Armenian. And they were the only Armenian family in all of Glendale. And he turned out to be a lawyer. And I'm thinking, did he turn out to be an immigration lawyer?
Well, you never know.
You know?
You never know.
Come on over. Glendale's great, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And the Armenian people, they're great. You know, they're you know, a great community and all that. It's I got no problem with all that. But I just found it odd and kind of funny, you know?
Yeah, it's funny because, you know, I'm not into all the pop culture and all these celebrities that are only celebrities because of reality shows and all that.
Oh, God.
But the Kardashians, whose father was a lawyer,
right,
and was Armenian.
Really? Is that what they are?
Yes, they're Armenian. So I just thought it was funny that you said that because he was a lawyer for O.J. Simpson.
Okay.
And he's Armenian, and his daughters are obviously Armenian, so they have that culture. So maybe, you know, it's a whole, you know.
Sure. And I bet they have a lot of relatives in Glendale, California.
They do.
So what do you want to talk about tonight?
Sorry? Well,
what do you want to talk about tonight?
I want to talk mostly about the new album in the UK tour, but I've been asked to mention the Thin Lizzy anniversary.
Sure.
So
absolutely.
I'll probably start off with that and then go into the Black Star Riders, if that's okay.
You guide us any way you want to.
Okay. So I'm just going to do a little introduction and then we'll get underway because this is an audio interview. So this will be posted as audio for people to listen to.
Okay, great.
Right. Here we go. Hi, this is Maggie at Full Metal Rock, and today I'm speaking to another rock legend, Mr. Scott Gorham of the Black Star Riders and Thin Lizzy. Scott, it's so good to speak to you.
Maggie, how are you? It's great to talk with you.
I am fantastic. All the better for speaking to you. It's
sure.
like I can connect with another American transplant to England. So
yeah, no kidding.
You'll
That's great,
know exactly all the trials and tribulations of coming from the U.S.
Right, that we're going through right now. Oh, God.
Yeah. You've been over here a long time.
Yeah, I've been here since 1974, if you can believe that.
Yeah, it's like a whole lifetime away, it must seem.
Well, I've actually lived in England way more than half my life. And when people ask me, you know, what year did you move over, and I tell them 1974, they can't believe it. Wow, you still kept your accent. Well, yeah, and I kind of believe in that. You know, you are what your passport says you are. So,
I agree. I try very hard to keep my accent. I find it difficult sometimes because I'm one of those people that I pick up on other people's accents, not intentionally.
You're susceptible.
But I am very susceptible. So if I'm talking to somebody that speaks a certain way, I have a tendency to like mimic the way they talk, which can sound like I'm being rude.
Okay,
so I have to be very careful about it. But I think you kept your accent.
What I do is I will just exchange words for other words, as in not gasoline but petrol.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm talking about. There's just to keep the conversation going and not try to offend too many people with our Americanisms.
I found that language very difficult to understand. I thought when I moved here, they speak English, it'll be easy.
No.
it isn't. But that's a story for another conversation.
Right.
I
mean, Americans have to get their English ear in, so, okay.
Yeah. For those who don't know how it came about, how did a young guitarist from California join an Irish rock band in the 70s?
Yeah, really, how did that happen, you know? Well, my then brother-in-law, Bob Siebenberg, had just joined this group called Supertramp, which yeah, I had never heard of, and nobody else had ever heard of. And he had come to Los Angeles, come back from England to Los Angeles to stay with me for a couple of weeks so he could fly back to England to get his passport re-stamped for another 6-month visa kind of thing. And while he was there, he showed me this cassette of these demos of these songs that were going to become the first new Supertramp album. And I was amazed at what I was listening to. And
I'm resisting the urge to start singing "Take the Long Way Home." Go ahead.
Down, down, down. No, a dreamer was on that one, so I think that's more apt at this point for me. But he was saying, I think I can actually get you into this band. Because you got to remember at this point, Supertramp really weren't anything. They hadn't decided, which way they were going to go personnel-wise and all that. So I was pumped. I thought, wow, this is something that is really meaningful. So it took me quite a long time to actually try to work up the money to buy a plane ticket to England. And when I did, it turned out that Supertramp were already, secured in their positions. So that's what actually, brought me to England. So after that, I just started to try to meet as many musicians as I possibly could in the whole London area. Because to me, the English musicianship and the way all these guys wrote the songs and the amazing music that was coming out of this island at such a consistent rate. Forget about the Supertramp thing. I needed to go to England to find out, just what the heck is going on in this place called England, right? And so I, grabbed a lot of different musicians, and I would over the microphone each night. We got little residencies in London around London town here. And I said every night, if anybody out there wants to get up and, have a jam with us, be it guitar player, bass player, drummer, keyboard player, singer, come on up. And for me, that was a way to meet more musicians and new guys and, just try to, make more musical friends, if you will. And one of the guys that came up was an Irishman named Ruan O'Loughlin, who knew Phil Lynott, and he knew Thin Lizzy's management. And he said, I know this Irish band. They're looking for a guitar player. Do you want me to put your name in? And I said, what are these guys called? And they said, Thin Lizzy, which I thought was a ridiculous name. What the heck is a Thin Lizzy? I don't get that one at all. I said, well, what kind of music do they play? And they said, well, it's Irish rock. And that threw me again. Irish rock, I don't even know what that means, So, but I said, yeah, because I had 30 more days to go on my visa, and in 30 days, almost to the exact day I was getting on that plane, I was going back home with pretty much my tail between my legs, So he gave me the number of the management. I went down. They said, okay, the guys are playing at this club in Hampstead. It's called the Iroko Club. Go down there, meet everybody. And I went down there. And the first guy that I met was Phil. And he said, as I came through the doors, he said, are you Scott? And I said, yeah. And I turned around, and it was this black guy with an Irish accent. And that kind of threw me again, So I knew right off the bat I was in real different kind of territory here. Irish rock, black guy with an Irish accent. Wow, what's going on here? But Phil was one of those kind of guys that he was really up. The whole thing, he had a smile on his face the whole time. You could see that this guy had a ton of energy. And when I walked in the room to meet the two Bryants, Downey and Robertson, when I did get up on stage, you saw that they directed their focus on this guy named Phil. So I figured, well, this has to be the main guy, And they taught me 3, 4, 5 songs, and unbeknownst to me, they were recording the whole session. And when I gave Phil my telephone number after this, the whole jam session, which, by the way, I thought I had done horribly with. About 10 o'clock that night, Phil gave me a call and said, we've listened to the tapes. That's when I went, tapes?
Were you like, what?
Yeah, absolutely. What are you talking about, tapes, And he said, we've all agreed that, you're the guy that we think can really, fit into this thing. Which was kind of cool because I really loved everything that I was hearing that night or that afternoon, having a jam with these guys. And I found out later that I was number 25 of the 24 guitar players trying out for him before me. So, I felt pretty good about that, But that was kind of, in a nutshell, that was kind of the start of the whole thing for the next Thin Lizzy.
That's an incredible story, and I was aware of the story, but hearing you say it's one of those things that you think, gosh, what if you had managed to get the money earlier? And
or what if I would have
earlier.
said, nah, I got 30 days.
Well,
I got these residencies around London. I don't want to go jam with more guys. I mean, it's one of those things. I could have turned left or I could have turned right on the day, but I decided to take the right turn on the day. So.
And we're so glad you did.
Me too.
2016 and into 2017 is a pretty exciting and yet poignant year for Thin Lizzy. It marked the 40th anniversary of Jailbreak being released as an album.
That's right, yeah.
And also marked the 30th anniversary of Phil's passing.
That's right, also, yeah.
And I just wondered how, if any, this year, this anniversary felt different to previous ones, or if it had any.
Well, something, Maggie, it had quite an impact on myself. Realizing that it had been 30 years since my my best friend had died. It was hard to believe that it had been that long, and it was later on that somebody said, yeah, well, also you realize it's 40 years since the Jailbreak album. But yeah, man, you're right. You're absolutely right about that. And I said, I've got to do something to pay homage to my friend here. We've got to do something, right? And everybody at the time in the band, agreed. I mean, we were already kind of ejecting ourselves, if you will, from the whole Thin Lizzy thing, but to do the Black Star Riders thing, because we were very heavily into the whole Black Star Riders platform at this time. But they, all graciously, agreed that yes, because they're such huge fans, all these guys, that yes, we need to go out and do something, and that's what we did. We thought we'll make it a real sort of poignant affair. This won't be an extended, 3-month tour, and then you add another 2 weeks on or whatever. It was all about, we're going to pick 5 shows, and that's going to be it. And that's what we did. You know, one in Germany, one in Sweden, one in Spain. I think we did two in England, and then we did one. The last one we did was just a couple of months ago. It was, the rock boat that goes from Miami to Mexico.
The Rock Legends. Yeah.
That's right, the Rock Legends things. We got Scott Travis and and Tom from Aerosmith on bass to come out with us. And I thought that was a really great way to sort of end the whole thing. And we all had a great time, and made me feel that we had all done the right thing. And now it's on to Black Star Riders.
How did you? Sorry, let me rephrase that. The fans' reactions to those 5 dates. What impact did that have on you?
Well, something. It was really great. To see the fans, and they knew that the plan that we were doing, and everybody really appreciated it, which was very cool. The reaction was great. We all had a great time on each and every show that we did. So I was really gratified that the fans came out in the great numbers that they did, and because they wanted to say thank you also to Phil at the same time. So it was a very cool thing.
It sounds like it was very cool. I would have loved to have been there for
you
one of
should
those
have come,
days.
Maggie.
Well, I will be at one of your upcoming UK and Ireland tour dates,
Great.
which I can sneak in here. That starts on March 2nd.
That's right.
And I understand you're going to start rehearsing soon in London, or you've already started?
No, everybody's flying over on Saturday. We're going to start rehearsing for 2 days in London. Then we've got a kind of a one-off little preemptive show, if you will, up in Wolverhampton. Sorry, we're going to go up there and just play. It's going to be a small crowd, and that's just because we haven't been together now we haven't played together for a little bit over a year now. So we're going to get up there so we can all eyeball each other and rub shoulders together and all that. And that'll be our warm-up show, and then bang, it's straight up to Cardiff, and we're right into the tour at that point.
I'm looking at the dates. You are hitting just about every region of the UK and Ireland that you could possibly hit, including on your birthday. I have to give you early happy birthday wishes.
Thank you very much. And I've told people in other interviews, everybody that comes to the show has to get me a present.
Absolutely. Absolutely. At least
and
one,
I'm kidding.
if not two. Now, it was announced yesterday on the band's Facebook page for people to mark Tuesday, February 28th on their calendars.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give us a hint as to what that's about? Or is it still secret?
Sorry, which date are we talking about?
February 28th.
Oh, wow, the 28th.
It's a week from today.
Well, something, actually, I don't know what that is.
It's so secret, they haven't told the band.
I think that might be, because we're endorsed by Marshall, we're going to be, did it say what city that was in, Maggie?
It didn't. It just said mark Tuesday, February 28th on your calendars and watch the space.
Well, I know there's two dates that we've carved out. We are going to be, one is going to be in Newcastle, and the other one's going to be in Glasgow, where myself, Ricky, and Damon, they picked out a music shop, and it's under the Marshall amplifier guys, and we're going to show up and sit around, just talk with people, sign autographs and pictures and all that. So I hope people will come out and shake a few hands and get our pictures taken with everybody and sign a few things, and it should be 2 really great days.
That sounds fantastic. You seem to have a really good and close relationship with your fans.
Well, they have stuck with us. Well, especially me, for like I said, over 40 years, and the fans that we've got, they're strong. They're really strong fans, and they love the music, and we love them, and we've got a thing on the pledge system here that people can obviously buy their way onto the stage and do a sound check with us, and I'm actually really looking forward to that.
I saw that.
I want to see people get up there with their guitars, or they want to sing a song, or get up there and play the drums. I mean, when I was a kid or whatever, I wish I could have done that. That would have just chuffed me right to the bones, man, to be able to get up with a couple of guys in cool bands to just walk off the street and play some music with these guys. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's a great idea.
I went on to your Pledge Music site, and I have to say it's one of the most extensive and exciting lists of options for fans to get involved with. I mean, I can't even list everything that's in there, but I will put the website link up so people can go straight to it. Everything from meet and greets to lyric sheets to the lessons and the sound check jam that you mentioned. It's
the whole thing. We want to get people involved. We don't want to, palms out, arms straight out. No, you can't get that close. That's, I've never been in a band that's been like that. Even back with, Thin Lizzy, it was always a policy with us that after every single show, the stage door got thrown open, and whoever wanted to come in could come in and have a picture taken, sign whatever albums you've got. It was just, it was a really good way to also gauge. So what did you think of the set tonight? Oh, it was great. No. Really, what did you think of the set? And it was the way, I wouldn't have played this song. I wish you guys would have played that song, So it was a sneaky kind of thing for us to do, but it was a great way to find out, okay, that song's not really working. And that's the song they want to hear.
Yeah, I noticed that you've actually asked fans to pick 6 songs for your set list for this upcoming tour. And the band's going to choose the rest of the songs. And just looking at, the song choices that people are putting through and seeing the variety of what their, favorite 6 songs would be. It must be really exciting for you to have that accessibility.
Well, it's the fans that are paying the tickets. So you really want to play the songs that they want to hear, not the ones that you want to play. So I thought it was a cool idea to say, what 6 off the new album, which, by the way, is the most that I've ever played off of any new album. But, what are the ones that you want to hear? Forget about us. If there's 6 songs there that you want to hear, what are the 6 from 1 to 6? What's your choice? And I've certainly never heard of anybody else doing that. Most bands. Sorry?
I said I haven't. I haven't not like that. And certainly not off a brand new album.
Exactly, man. Most bands like
usually they break in a song, and then after a bit there's a second song added, and usually as the songs are released, they get added to the set list.
You're absolutely right. All bands like to dictate what is going to be heard on the stage. Where we know that any song on that album, we can play. So. It's up to you guys. What do you want to hear? We can play it. Just let us know what you want to hear.
Well, I know my favorite off the new album has got to be the title track, I absolutely love that song from
Heavy
the
Fire.
first. Sorry?
Heavy Fire.
Heavy Fire. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
From, straight out the gate, the song just hit me.
A lot of people have said that. They said that some of the people said it's really brave coming out with that song straight off the bat, especially with that really strange time change that comes about halfway through.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I was talking to one journalist. He goes, I thought my turntable skipped, and I had to go put it back. He goes, no, actually, that's part of the song. And what, like you said, he said, yeah, he fell in love with that part. So yeah, very cool. Thank you so much, Maggie.
Well, that's my favorite so far. My favorites do change as I listen to songs and depending on what mood I'm in. So I'm always hesitant to say favorites, but I can say hand on heart, Heavy Fire is my favorite.
Very
Who
cool.
Rides the Tiger is my second favorite.
Yeah, that's a cool song. Man, there's some heavy ass changes going on in that one.
Yeah.
That's like a real guitar player's song.
Yeah, I guess that's like what gets me. One of the first things that gets me anyway is I listen for that sort of thing. So I obviously the whole album is great from start to finish.
Thank you.
Your best work.
Do you play
so
guitar?
Far, I'm going to say so far because I hope there's like much more to come. It must be really exciting that it's your first album as Black Star Writers to make it in the top 10 of the UK.
Yeah, how about that, huh?
That's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, I mean the last I guess top 10 album straight out of the bag was Live and Dangerous for me. So that's a long time ago,
So you still got it, kid.
Thank you, Maggie. Pretty cool.
I have to mention Robert Crane because he's the newbie in the band.
Right.
I think it's coming up on, I want to say 3 years since it was announced that he was the new bassist. And he seems a really great fit for BSR.
Robert is the perfect fit. We had, I've been playing, and Marco reminded me of this. Marco Mendoza and I have been playing together for 20 years. And, he decided that he just needed a break. He had to go off and do something else. And I said, okay, man, go.
I just saw him the other day.
Marco.
Playing in Wakefield as Marco Mendoza. Great set. It was great to see him because I saw him with the Dead Daisies, I think, end of last year or something like that.
Right.
And it was great to see him. I was sad, that he was taking a different path. But I think you have to acknowledge that people have to do what they need to do.
Well, you really do. You got to infuse new blood every once in a while. It's great trying to keep the Fab Four, the Fab Five, together forever. But if you know my history, that's never happened. we've never been able to keep it together forever. So I was used to it, and the funny thing about Robert is he is the only guy in the band that I didn't personally hire myself. Everybody else in the band, I personally hired. I didn't know anything about Robert, right? But everybody else in the band did. And, they came to me and said, this is the guy. This is the guy. He is the perfect fit. And, I so believe in all these other guys in Black Star Writers, i.e. and Lizzy, that I just said, right, without even hearing him, he's the guy. And of course he came down on one of our sound checks in America, and he killed it, absolutely killed it. And I said, guys, you're right, he's the guy. So once again, we made the right choice.
Well, I think when everybody's telling you that they feel he's a perfect fit, it's kind of, good that everybody's on the same page with it, rather than, you know, one person saying yes and another person saying maybe. So obviously it was a unanimous decision to bring him on board, and yeah, I think he's doing great work from what I've heard so far, and I look forward to seeing him.
He's just an amazing player. He can adapt to any situation, any song, you know, any tempo, any key. He's just one of those guys, you know. You know, and as far as being, you know, everybody on the same page, it's pretty phenomenal in this band. I can't really recall a time where really that almost all of us were not on the same page, and I think that's why this thing works so well. We know each other really well now. We're all really great friends. We all trust each other up on the stage, and that's really a big deal. A lot of people don't, you know, think about that. That, you know, when you're on the stage up there, you're playing live, you got to be able to trust the guy on the right and the left, you know, to pull off his part. And everybody does. You know, I can close my eyes and it's like grease. It's just not a problem. So yeah, I'm in a really great situation, Maggie. I mean, I'm in a really cool band. You know, playing some really cool songs. So life doesn't get any better than that. You know?
Absolutely. Well, Scott, I want to thank you for talking to us at Full Metal Rock. Your UK dates, UK and Ireland dates start on the 2nd of March, and we'll put the dates and the links up for tickets for people to find out that information. Your album Heavy Fire is out now via Nuclear Blast Entertainment,
right.
And we'll put up the links. It's available digitally, vinyl. You have some really special limited edition signed things available on your Pledge Music. So we'll put all the links up for that.
And Maggie, you and I need to talk more.
Absolutely. Well, you should have my number now. If you don't, I'll get it to you. But
okay.
Definitely. And I'll see you on I want to say the 14th of November, which is the Nottingham date. That's the date that I'll be at. That's my local.
Did you say November?
Sorry, did I say November?
You did.
Sorry. I don't know where my mind just went then. I'll correct that.
I said, wow, what year is that?
Pause, edit. And I'll see you on March, I want to say, I'm not even going to say the date now because I've messed it up so many times.
But
I will see you in Nottingham on the
go.
correct date.
Not Nottingham, Nottingham.
Nottingham. I will see you in
Nottingham
on the tour in Nottingham.
Cool.
It's a great venue, so I'm
I'll
looking
buy you
forward.
a drink. I'll get you in backstage. I know a couple of guys in the band, so I can get you back there.
Oh, can you? I'm a bit old to be a groupie, but
no, I'm not even talking about that.
I'll take it.
Come on.
Thank you so much for talking to us, Scott. It's been an absolute pleasure and a delight. And I wish you best of luck with the tour and congratulations on the album.
Thank you so much, Maggie. It was great talking with you. And like you said, we'll see you out on the tour, okay?
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Take care.
See ya.
Bye.